Hi, I'm David, and welcome to another Photography Garage video. This video is going to show you how to create a personal portfolio website for your photos that's both fast and good looking. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Today we will be creating a personal portfolio website from scratch in an easy step-by-step process. Stay till later in the video and I'll share my tips for best formatting photos for your website gallery to maximize speed while still looking great. The goal of this is to give you a place to put your photos on show for the world to see in a good looking, quality, and most importantly fast website. So this isn't going to cost a fortune, but it's not free. I'm focusing on showing you how to create a great, responsive and fast site. If you have a website with lots of photos to show off to potential clients, spending a few extra dollars to make it fast and responsive website will make such a difference. I'm setting this up as a WordPress site. There are other options out there like Wix, Weebly, etc., but the advantage of WordPress is its flexibility and control. You can do what you want to your site, and if you decide you want to move to a different hosting company, you can take your site with you. The three main products we'll be using today are Elementor Pro, Cloudways, and WordPress. I currently use them for my websites, and they're great. I'm an affiliate for Elementor Pro and Cloudways, so if you click on my links in the description and purchase, then I will receive a small amount of money. This will help the channel and allow me to make more videos like this. We will be going through the following processes today to set up your website from scratch. If you've already done some of these steps, feel free to forward to the next bit you need to do. Alright, number 1, choose a business name and domain name. 2, set up your Cloudways account with a server that's closest to your physical location. 3, install WordPress. 4, install Elementor. 5, install some other useful plugins. 6, create your portfolio website. And 7, optimize your photos for quick page loading. Now, just a quick word on hosting. You can get very cheap hosting for only a few US dollars a month. I tried that and I almost gave up, as trying to edit the website was unbearably slow a lot of the time. For example, clicking into a page, it often took 30 seconds for it to load. So, I recommend spending a couple extra dollars per month and getting something better like Cloudways. Okay, the main reasons that affect your speed of your website are how fast slow the computer or the server that's running it is, and how many resources on it you have. Obviously, the more you pay, the more you get for some of the places for resources. Number 2, location of the server. If you have a very cheap one in the same country as you, it might be okay. I'm in Australia, and the closest one for one of the companies I used was in Singapore, 6,300 kilometers away, or 3,900 miles away, as the crow flies. So much further away through the internet cabling, and obviously the latency wasn't very good, it was very slow. And number 3 is how big your graphics and web pages are. So this is why I think it's well worth to plan out who your hosting provider is going to be, and spend a couple extra bucks to get something that won't leave you tearing your hair out. You need to check with your local government regulation to see what you need to do to register a business name. In Australia, there's certain things we have to do to register a business name. We have to get an Australian business number, and then we can register a name. And it also depends on what domain you order. In Australia, we have a .com.au domain name. If we want that domain name, then it actually has to be very similar or the same as our business name. So I can't do Photography Garage as my business name and then go out and get a harryscafe.com.au domain. They won't approve it. Things like a .com, it's pretty much an open slather. Other countries' domains, I'm not sure. You just need to look at your local regulations. Okay, so have an idea what you want to call it. What you can come through is do a domain search if you're not quite sure what it is. So you can put in some terms that you want to look at. So say for photography, I'm going to put photography, and we're going to put studio. So these kind of sites like lead domain search, they will just give you a bit of help if you're not quite sure what your business name is, what you want it to be, or the domain name. So it'll add things onto the end of it. You can change it from popularity, length, alphabetical. You can have a search term for all. You can do starts with your search term, so photography studio, or ends with that term. So photography studio. So this, if you scroll down, there's heaps and heaps and heaps of these. So, and this is not the only site. This is just one I picked. So you got photography studio store, photography studio news, photography studio TV, free photography studio. So you can try and find something that matches what you want to do. Once you have decided on a business name, we need to find out whether it's available on a domain. So there's a few different domain registers you can do. There are some that are quite expensive and some are quite cheap. Cheap doesn't necessarily mean bad. It's basically just a straight registration and an interface to set up some of your connections. So one that a lot of people use is quite cheap. It's called Namecheap, namecheap.com/domains. It's probably the cheapest around. I haven't used them, but a lot of people I know have. And so you have different prices depending on what you want. So some people will get like a .com, and then they might get the, say for me, .com.au for my country, and either set it up as a .com address and then do a redirect from .com.au. So if someone types in photographygarage.com.au and my website is on a photographygarage.com, it will then redirect from photographygarage.com.au to .com. So that means you won't lose any people coming in. Now I have one in Australia called Zuva. I actually have my other domains here, so I'm going to set it up in here. It's only a couple of dollars extra. It's just easier for me to keep everything together. So I'm going to put it on a business name I've just registered. I'm going to do so, search for my existing business name that I've set up, and I've checked before and it's available on a domain, but let's go through the process. So you do a search for your domain, and it is Dave the Tech Dad, and hit enter. And this is actually going to be my new IT YouTube channel and website, so coming soon in a few weeks. So this will give you a bit of an idea of what's here. So davethetechdad.com.au in my Australian domain, it's available, $10.50 Australian. davethetechdad.com, available, $19 Australian. So you can click here and you can load more. Got .net.au, .org, .asn, .info. You can keep going through. So if the .com was not available, it would come up here across and say I can't get it. So I might have been able to get it for a .com.au, but not .com. So you can get multiple ones of these, and as I said, redirect from say .com.au to a .com. But for now, I'm just going to get a .com. So I'm going to buy this, and we have $19. Alrighty. So let's close that. And I have a login for this. So you just have to set up an account, which is just a normal, straightforward thing, but I will actually set up this. Okay, so let's go into register a domain. Back to here. Okay, so let's put back in again. Dave the Tech Dad. Okay, so we've got it for that still. Hit continue. $19. Auto renew is enabled. Yep, IP protection is enabled. So some places for a .com, they will charge you a thing for a whois. So this is what the information is. Protect your personal information and reduce the amount of spam to your inbox by enabling ID protection. We recommend you keep this enabled. I would say keep it on. We'll go add to cart. $19 a year, auto year, have a coupon. Nope. So produce. I am an existing customer. I will do PayPal. And congratulations, you have a domain. So we'll go to the dashboard. And now with my domains, I've got davethetechdad.com. So it's pending. Now you should get an email discussing what's happening with that. So there you go. If I jump into my email, got one from Zuva. Your domain has been registered. Yippee, the domain has been successfully registered and will expire on 8th of September 2021. Okay, and if we go back into the dashboard, and now it's actually updated, and Dave the Tech Dad is there. Okay, so now we need to set up our Cloudways account. Okay, so now it's time to set up your web hosting. So go to Cloudways. If you use the link in my description, it's an affiliate link. If you sign up with that and become a paying member, then that will give me a couple extra bucks to keep the channel going. So please use that. So we're going to, once you get there, we're going to click on Start a Free Trial. We'll give you, I think it's 3 days. Free trial, I'll give you an idea how it works and if the performance is good. So we're just going to sign up. Okay, it's best to just what other business, and my monthly spend will be 0 to 50. If you've got a promo code, you can put it in there, agree to the terms and service, and start free. Give it a sec to come in. It's very nice. Wishes you a nice day. Alright, so this is where Cloudways is a little bit different. So when you go to a normal provider, you'll just host your website on their gear, on their computers, on their servers. So what Cloudways is basically it's a platform above a few different providers. So these ones here like DigitalOcean, Linode, Vultr, AWS, and Google Cloud Platform. You can set up your WordPress site on that, but what is that it lacks basically any kind of WordPress management, anything pretty. You basically have to look after all the security and things like that. So what Cloudways does is basically takes the best of these cloud providers and puts a layer on top, which allows you to manage it. It's better looking. They'll give you support for WordPress and things like that. All right, so best thing to do is have a look and see what's closest to you. Now, I use Vultr. Because they had a Sydney location, and that's the closest one to me. It's just up the road. So if you come down here, you can click on location, and you can scroll through. So this one's got USA, Seattle, USA, a couple of different USA sites. Miami, New York, it's got London, Amsterdam, Paris, Frankfurt, Tokyo, Sydney, Singapore, Canada, Toronto. Okay, so if there's nothing like that's near to you, so when I first started mine up, Vultr was the only one apart from AWS and Google Cloud that was in Sydney, and Vultr and DigitalOcean and Linode are the cheaper options. AWS and Google Cloud Platform are kind of a step up, but they are a bit more expensive as well. So for us, Vultr is certainly well and truly good enough. So you can have a look at Linode, have a look at the networks. So you've got Newark, Dallas, Fremont, Atlanta, London, Frankfurt, Singapore, Tokyo, Toronto, Mumbai, and Sydney. So that one, Mumbai, is definitely different for that one if you're in India. And we've got DigitalOcean as well. So again, London, San Fran, Singapore, New York, Amsterdam, Frankfurt, Toronto, and Bangalore. So I haven't used DigitalOcean or Linode, but they're apparently very similar to Vultr. So basically pick one that's nearest to you, and we're going to start with Vultr. Okay, so you can do a standard size or a high frequency. High frequency is just new. It's only a couple extra dollars more, and will give you faster CPU, faster drives. But basically at the moment we're just going to pick standard. And this is the one I'm on, 1 gig. And we'll go down to Sydney. Now for this, for a standard site, it's heaps, and it's $11 US a month, which is not very much. You can get a little bit cheaper, as I said before, with some of the shared hosting, but this is just a cut above shared hosting. It's much faster, much flexible. What you can do is, if you want to, in the future, you need to go a bit further, a bit more memory, or a bit higher CPU, or a bit more space, you basically just click a couple of buttons, and suddenly you've got extra space. Okay, so we'll come up here, and it's going to install WordPress for us. So we've got standard WordPress 5.42, version 5.4.2 with WooCommerce, multi-site WordPress, or a clean with no Cloudways optimization. So we're going to go, and you've got another couple of options down here as well, but we're going to stick with WordPress. WordPress 5.4.2, so Cloudways put a couple of bits and pieces on it. They put like a cache plugin and things like that. So unless you need a clean version, we'll go with the version there. So you can call it your whatever version you want. So we're going to go test portfolio, and we can call your server DJ's server. And you can select a project if you like, or you can just leave it blank. It doesn't really matter. So we're going to go on the 1 gig. It's in Sydney and it's on Vulture. It's standard. And $11 a month. Okay, so we just need to activate our Cloudways account. So I've got email from Cloudways. Click on activate. I've already done it. I just forgot to hit record. So it will come up and it will then take us back into this screen. So we just need to go back through, add the version, name, and a server. Pick standard, just start with the lowest 1 gig and in Sydney and hit launch. And it will then come into this next screen and it will say, here's my server now. It's adding an application. It'll give you a time. It's usually reasonably accurate about what it's doing. So it's building our actual cloud server and then it's loading in WordPress ready to go. Now, if you actually have an existing WordPress site, Cloudways do have a plugin to put on your existing site to help migrate it to Cloudways. So if you come down here and have a look at the video, you can do that if you haven't got an existing site. Don't worry about it. We'll hit pause and we will wait for this to be built. Okay, I'll be back in a sec. Okay, so once we're done, it'll come back to this screen. So I'll have here our DJ server and we've got one website. Okay, and we've got up here saying our trial will expire in 3 days. Okay, so if we go into applications, this will list our applications. So here we have our test portfolio. And this will give us all the information. Okay, we'll just click that. Okay, so this is what we're going to do now. We're going to add a domain under domain management and update our A record in DNS, which basically means that we can use our domain name that we just bought. Okay. And we'll add an SSL certificate because pretty much everything needs an SSL certificate. If you don't know what an SSL certificate is, just a secure certificate to help things stay secure, and Google ranks it quite highly as opposed to if you don't have one. Alright, so what we're going to do is we are going to go into domain management. Okay, and we're going to grab the domain name that we set up yesterday. So Dave the Tech Dad. And we'll go to primary domain, .com and save changes. Wait for it to update. Okay, so we've set up the primary domain, davethedecktad.com. What we need to do is go into access details and grab our public IP address. Okay, so this, if you haven't done it before, what we're going to do is you go into your DNS settings that we've set up for your domain and hook your domain name up to this IP address. So when someone types in your name, it will come to this IP address and go to your site. So we'll copy that. We'll come back into our domain provider. Mine's Zuba, so we're going to log into that. Oops. Okay, so we're going to log into that. And here we have our domains. So we're going to use davethedecktad.com. So we just need to go into manage. Okay, this will be a bit different depending on your DNS supplier or your domain supplier. But this one we go down here. Okay, on the side we've got manage DNS. Okay, so at the moment it's using Zuba's name servers. Okay, so what we want to do is change that. We change DNS, and we're going to use their free DNS hosting. And this basically operates just like a redirect. So all they're doing is having our domain name, and if someone asks where it is, it then sends it on to Cloudways. So we'll go down to free domain hosting, and these are already set up by default. Okay, so basics of this is you have an A record, and that basically goes to the website. So we've got two, which is just the davethetechdad.com, and one which is www.davethetechdad.com. So basically the same thing, but just the W is in front. So they're currently pointing to this IP address, which would be a Zuva IP address, and this TTL, which means how long it is. So we're going to edit both of those and point them to our new site. So we'll just go edit, and we will grab our IP address from our other screen, copied, and paste, and we're going to change this to 3600. So which basically means everything will update within an hour. Okay, so now we're pointing to 107.191.56.11. That's our new site, and so the www isn't changed yet, so let's go and change that. Paste our IP address and 3600 as well. Okay, and the name servers can stay the same, they're just the Zuva servers. And we'll just go set zone records, set DNS, give it a minute, and successful. Okay, so now we've got 107.191.56.11 for both sites and 3600. So they're now pointing to our new site. So let's just jump back over to Cloudways. Okay, so we're back into Cloudways. So here we were at the access details to get our IP address. And if you have a look here, the application URL is davethetechdad.com. And to get into the admin panel for WordPress, you just add a wp-admin/ on the end. And so that's now got our new address. Username is our email address, and then it will give us a password. If you click that and click that, it'll copy them. So we'll go into SSL certificate. It's important to set up next. Okay, so let's go and choose Let's Encrypt. Let's Encrypt is free, does the job. We don't need to pay for one, which is another good thing about Cloudways, it's all included. And so we're going to put in our email address, and we'll put in our domain, which is maybe it doesn't like the wwws. Oh, it's alright. Typo. That'd help. So install certificate. And you'll need to give it a couple of minutes. Okay, it'll pop up with this. So basically any HTTP will go to HTTPS, the secure, and we'll just go enable. Okay, so it's saying it's now enabled. Close that. Come back to our access details, and we're in business. So if we click on the admin link, it will open up in a new page, and it will come up with the WordPress username and password. And if we click to copy that, paste it into there, and then click copy that, paste it into there, and log in. Okay, so if anyone hasn't seen it before, this is the WordPress dashboard. So dashboard up here. Okay, it'll tell you your address, which is at the davethetechdad.com. It'll tell you any updates, messages, and you can log out up the top. If you need to, just click that and log out. But we'll go back into dashboard. It'll tell you most important things. So at the moment, there's an update for WordPress to 5.5.1, which will do that because we haven't got anything running, so it'll be easy. And it'll just tell you anything about the site and some things coming up in the WordPress community. So if you click on updates, we're just going to update everything at the moment. All right, so it'll do different sections. So WordPress at the top, plugins next, and then themes. So that for those that aren't aware with WordPress, you basically need a theme to run your thing. It can be a very basic theme or it can be a very detailed theme, and that will just show you headers, footers, page layout, things like that, which we'll get into a bit later. Plugins, pretty much everything. Every WordPress site has a plugin of sorts. It just does extra things that the main WordPress doesn't do. And there's tons and tons of different plugins that you can do. All right, so what we'll do is just update WordPress. And this is where having a slightly faster site will be very good. So here we go. It's updated. That was less than 30 seconds. I've had updates that go for 5-10 minutes on some sites that I've had in the past that are old. Yeah, and it's so much nicer having something that's just very snappy. All right, so we're going to update all the plugins. We'll just select all, even though there's only one. Okay, updated successfully. Back to updates, and then we'll update the themes. So these are the included WordPress themes: 2019, 2017, and 2020. They're basically just named after the year. Okay, so select all, update themes. Now we might not necessarily keep all the themes or the plugins. Good practice with WordPress is to only have on your site what you need. If you've got plugins or themes that you don't need, even though they might be disabled, it's one extra security risk. So we'll go through and delete anything we don't need. But here we are. Go back to dashboard, and it says welcome. And we are up to date with WordPress and ready to go. Okay, so what we need to do now is install Elementor and Elementor Pro. So we'll come into plugins, add new. Now Elementor is the free version, so it can be found in the WordPress repository. So you just do a search, Elementor website builder, install now, and then we just need to activate it when it comes up. Again, this is where having a decent web hosting helps, because it just speeds everything up. Let's go activate. Welcome to Elementor. We'll close that. Okay, now we need to go into plugins again. Add new. Now, because Pro is a paid version, it's not actually in the WordPress plugin directory, so we need to upload it. So if you go and purchase it from your website, you'll actually have it here, what the plan is, and you can download the plugin, and it will download it as a zip file, and you need to leave it as a zip file. So I've downloaded it before, so we're going to go to choose file. Okay, we're going to go to download, and we've got Elementor Pro 3.0.4, and open. Install now. Okay, and activate. Alrighty, so at the top it comes up, welcome to Elementor Pro. Now we have to connect and activate our account because it's a paid account. So connect and activate. It'll say, do you want to connect this website, which we're on now, to my user ID for Elementor Pro. So we'll go activate. Give it a sec. Or two. And so now it should come up saying active. If you jump back into your Elementor Pro site, so at the moment I've got active install 0. If I refresh the page, it should say active install 1s, and if you view the website, you can say it's now our test site now. Okay, and you can actually deactivate it from here, or you can deactivate it from there if you need to. Okay, what we're going to do is just do a little bit of a cleanup and add some more plugins. So, add new. There's a couple of plugins which I use on every site I do. One's called Duplicate Page. What this does is if you have a page that you've set up okay, you can do it as a template, and you want to create that page again but just change a few things, all you need to do is to click Duplicate Page, which I'll show you, and that's all you need to do instead of having to create it from scratch. Very handy, it's free, so install it, and then we activate it. And the other one I add in, I won't show you how to configure it today, but it's called Updraft Plus. So this is, oops, can I not spell? Updraft Plus. Okay, sorry, that was a bit of a typo. Updraft Plus WordPress Backup plugin. This is the free version. We'll go install now. So I'll do another video another day on how to configure this, but basically it means you can do backups to your Google Drive, to your Amazon Drive, OneDrive, anything like that. It's just a nice off-site thing. So go press here to start. We won't do that for today. And what we'll go in and do is just go back into install plugins. Okay, and we'll just get rid of anything we don't really need. Okay, this one at the top, Akismet. Okay, we don't need that, but if you want to put a blog or post on your page, well, you can use that. Otherwise, so we'll leave it for now. It's Hello Dolly, it's just a bit of nothing, so again, delete that. It's always good practice to delete anything that you don't need. Okay, so at the moment we've got Bot Protection, which is a WordPress security plugin, Breeze, which is a Cloudways plugin to help speed up things, and Duplicate Page is the one we just installed, Elementor and Elementor Pro. You have to have Elementor to have Elementor Pro. It just sits on top of Elementor. Okay, and we've got Updraft Plus. Okay, the last thing we just need to do is put in a theme. Now, go into Appearance Themes. Every website that WordPress has, it has to have a theme. You cannot do it without a theme. Now, theme basically shows you your header information, footer information, how to display blog posts, how to display pictures, things like that. So these are the built-in ones for WordPress, 2020, 2019, 2017. They're all just based on the year, like 2017, 2019, 2020. They're decent, they're just standard. So what we're going to do is install a thing called Hello, which is an Elementor thing. It's very bare bones, very lightweight. So you can hit a preview if you want, but we're just going to install it. Okay, and like everything else, I've got to activate it. Okay, so now we're going to go make our first new page. Okay, so at the moment in Pages, these are our web pages, our static web pages. So I've got a privacy policy and a sample page. They're just installed with WordPress, so we're going to delete them later, but for now we'll just leave them as is. And we're going to go add new. Okay, we're going to call this page home because it's going to be our home page. And we're going to go down here to default template, and we're going to go to Elementor full width and publish, and we have a page. But we're going to go into edit with Elementor, and this is going to get us into our theme builder. Okay, so we just need to go up to the hamburger menu and to theme builder. And when we first go into here, it'll give you an example of all the main pages that you need on a website. Now, you don't need them all. We're not going to create them all. So I've got a header, which is the top of the screen up here, like here, where it's got theme builder and has your menu, has any links you want. The footer, which goes down the bottom of the screen down here, which will give you information about more pages you can go to, contact us, things like that. A single post is a blog post. We're not going to do a blog post today, so we're not going to do that one. By the way, if you click on the eye here, it will actually tell you some more information about what it is, and this will give you a video too. So, single page is what we're going to do, as it's going to be a template for a page. So every page we do will have that kind of format. So home page, anything else. Archive is for blogs. Search results, we're not doing a search for at the moment. And we'll just do an error 404. So if someone goes to a page that's not there, a 404 is just an error page that comes up and says, hey, can't find you. All right, so we're going to do a header, footer, a single page, and an error. Okay, so we need to we can go through here, or we can go to the side, and we're going to do a header. So Elementor comes with, well, especially Pro, comes with a bunch of headers you can choose from. So see how it's got red here, Pro. It means you won't be able to use it in the free version. Okay, so all these are Pro. So I'm just going to pick one, so I'm just going to do a black kind of thing. So if you click on it, it'll actually expand it, give you an idea what it looks like. So logo on the left, menu structure on the right, the search. Yep, so we can go back to library. We can choose something else if we want to, but I'm going to choose that. So I'm going to click insert. Okay, and this is our header. Now the good thing about Elementor is it's very easy to edit. So we basically have three parts. We have this part, okay, which is editing the whole section, which is this entire blue section. Now if we want to edit the column, which is basically that space, click on that and edit column. And we get different ways to layout, style, advanced. We'll go through a little bit more of that a bit later. And then the third part of it is edit the actual content. So this one's edit site logo. If you go over here into this one, we don't have a menu yet because we haven't got any pages. So what we'll do is, okay, so we're going to leave this at the moment. So we're going to add our logo in somewhere else, and we'll add our menu in somewhere else, and we'll come back to this. So all we'll do is just publish, and we're going to add a condition. So what we want this header to be is on every single page in our website. So it'll have our logo and menu items at the top. So we'll go include entire site, save and close. Okay, if you want to have a look at it, you have this eyeball down here, and you can do a preview. At the moment, it doesn't look so schmick. We'll add some stuff to it, but that's basically what it will be. A big black thing at the top, there'll be menus over here, and your corporate logo over here. Alright, so let's close that. Let's go back into Theme Builder. Okay, and we're going to create a footer. So one for the bottom. Again, click on the plus sign. Okay, so we're just going to go to Stay in Touch. We're going to insert that. Insert button will work. Okay, and so this is basically what it's going to look like. Stay in touch, another text box. So these things are all separate. So again, this is our section edit for the whole thing. And then we have a column edit, and this is the individual edit. So if you click on that, click on that, click on that, you can change all those. So we're just going to keep on Stay in Touch. We might change the color. So we'll go into Style, and let's go red. So I'm going to match this kind of towards my photography site because I've got a lot of the things ready to go. So we're just going to use that. So we'll do red, click into this box, and we'll put a bit of text. So hi to up to date with all our new posts. Please subscribe. below. Okay, and that's now there. We can go in and change whether it's bold. We can change the alignment, the typography. So let's make it a bit different. I don't like that font. I don't like that one either. Times. And we can just increase the size. That'll do for now. Okay, so that's our footer. Hit publish. And we're going to add a condition again that it's going to go across the entire site. Okay, so we want a header and a footer on every page we've got on the entire site. Okay, so if you hit preview again, so now you can see it's starting to build. We've got our header, it's not complete, but our footer looks complete. Okay, we've got everything there. So let's close that. So now we're going to go into single page and create a single page theme builder. Okay, so when it's green up here, it means it's active. So we've got a footer and a header that's both active on the site. And I'll give you a little bit of a preview. You can go down here and have another look too. But what we're going to do is, so single post is for blog posts. We're not going to do that today. So we want single page. Okay, so what we're going to do is select a page template. So I'm just going to choose this one. It's a very simple one. And so basically we've just got home. And we're going to publish that. So again, we're going to display this on all pages. So save and close. And let's have a look. Okay, for now that's it. So what we're going to do is go back, exit to the dashboard. And what we're going to do is going to go back to our home page, and we're going to create a photo slider. Okay, just a quick note for photos you're putting up on your website. Obviously it's a balance between how big they are and how good they look, and how quickly they load. So a good combination I've found is, this is my Capture One section, and I output them at 1920 pics on the long edge, and I put them through a thing called JPEG Mini, which compresses them. There's a few other options out there. You can make them a bit smaller. One of the websites I was looking at said it depends on what kind of content you're doing. Gallery images is suggesting around 1500 pixels on the long edge. Okay, full screen slideshow is a bit higher than that. So if you put them 1920 pixels long, you're basically getting a couple of 100K, something like that. Let's have a look at my website. So 1920 long edge, 80% watermarked. And we're looking at sort of 1 to occasionally a little bit bigger, but usually 100 and something kilobytes. Make sure you watermark it. So if you've got a program to watermark it, I just put that across it. You can change the opacity, scale, all that kind of stuff. Make sure it goes across so that people can see it enough, but not enough to really destroy the image. That's more of a balance for you to work out. Okay, just for the home page, just something easy. So what we'll do is we'll go down to, so normal Elementor, you've got all these basic ones here, icons you can do, text, heading, button, things like that. But when you go and get Pro, you get all these other ones too. So there's heaps more, and a lot more polished. So what we're going to go down to is Media Carousel, and drag it in here. Okay, so again we're going to go up to here and go Edit Section, and we're going to go from boxed, so it's boxed in here, and we're going to make it full width, so it'll go all across. And we're going to change a few different things. Style, we'll change the background color. And so this background around the edge, we're going to change it to black, so it'll match the website. See how it's changed from white to black. Oops, so click on the right button, and we'll hit update. We don't have to click update, but we'll just do it anyway. So we're going to go into this edit column now, Okay, so there's not really much we probably really want to do there for now. Go back into style, and we're going to go into the content. Okay, so we're going to do these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items they've set up for sliders. I'm just going to do 3, so we'll delete 2 of those. So if you go into one of them and you go into choose image, this comes into the WordPress media library. So here we've got upload files and media library. So this is what we've got existing photos on WordPress site, and we haven't got any, so we just need to upload some. So I'm going to upload some just from my Photography Garage website. And need to make sure these are quite small, so these are 1920 pixels long, and they're JPEG mini, so they're nice and small. So we're just going to pick three landscapes. It's nice and easy. Let's pick that one, and that one. Okay, so we'll just start with that one. So see how it's highlighted. So if you actually, it comes up with a tick, you can click on the next one. But because we're only selecting one photo on this one, it'll only let us click on one. Okay, but if you need to remove that, if you move your mouse over it, it'll go to a negative. So we're going to insert media. And so that now puts it in #1 spot. So you can change the title if you want. But we're going to go down to here and choose our second image. We'll choose blue. Make sure it's not the same. And then item number 3. Check that one. Okay, so now we have a carousel. So we've got arrows on the side. Now, it doesn't look particularly good like that. So what we can come down here is we can choose carousel, slideshow, cover flow, different options. We'll just leave it as carousel, for the time being. You can change the effect from slide to fade to cube. Some things look okay, some things don't, so have a bit of a play with what you want to do. What we're going to do is change the height. Okay. Actually, before we do that, we're going to go change. Where is it? Here we go. Slide per view. We're going to go change that to 1. So now we're only having a look at one photo at a time. So now we're going to bring that down to something that would be closer to full size. And we're not. Okay, just to where you're happy. Alright, so if you want to just hit update and preview. Now that's starting to come together. Okay, so you can click on the arrows to go between your photos, or if you give it a sec, it'll actually start doing the carousel all by itself. Okay, so it's looking pretty good. A nice, easy front page. Alright, so let's close that one. Okay, so what we're going to do is go back into site settings. And we're going to go site identity. And we're going to fix up this. So this is your site logo. Okay, so don't need a description. And we're just going to call it photography page portfolio. Okay, and we're going to choose an image for site logo. Going to grab my logo for Photography Garage. Where is it? Here we are. Grab that one. Okay, insert media. So I can change things with that as well, or change it to a different one. Add a favicon, which is the icon that comes up here in the website. I'm not going to bother doing that now. So we'll just hit update. And we'll go back to editor. And so now it won't update in here, but if you go to preview, now has PG as the logo. Alright, that's looking a bit better. Alright, so the other thing we're going to do in the settings, so we'll go back into site settings. We have got... Okay, we need to actually go out of that. Go back to edit, set to dashboard. Back to there. And if we go into... Go into appearance and customize. Okay, so this is a bit like we had before, site identity. Okay. And menus, which will go in once we create a couple of pages. We'll go in and set up some menus, but we don't have anything at the moment. Homepage settings. So at the moment, because WordPress was originally a blogging software, it defaults to using your posts as your first page, your homepage. So we're going to use that slider page as our homepage. So we will choose a static page. And we come down here to homepage and choose the homepage that we've created. Now post page, don't worry about it. We're not doing that for now. Come up here to publish. And then back to there. Now if you click on here and visit site, it'll take us directly to that, and that's our homepage. Okay. So what we're going to do is put menus and things up here now, but we'll actually have to create another couple of pages first. Oops, wrong screen. Let's go back to here. Dashboard. Alright, so what we're going to do is post pages. Alright, so the best thing to do now is we're going to create a template. So if we click add new, we're going to call this template, and we're going to come down here and make it Elementor full width and hit publish and publish. Okay, so if we come back to the WordPress menu, we now have a template page. So what this means is that we don't have to go and do a couple of those steps, and we can just duplicate it. So this plugin that we added, duplicate this, it just means that we can start with the template, hit duplicate, and suddenly we have a copy of it. So template space draft, and we just need to edit. So edit, and then we'll call this one gallery all photos. So we're just going to throw up a whole bunch of photos, put them in different formats, and we'll do a second gallery page after this, but we'll just show you all of them first. So hit publish, publish. Okay, and then we'll just edit with Elementor. Okay, so we've got our header, we've got our footer, and this is the body of the page. So we're going to get in here to our pro widgets again, and we're going to grab gallery. Click, drag into there, and that's it. Okay, so we can have it in boxed, or we can go full width. So I'm going to leave it in boxed, just a bit different. We'll go to style, and we'll change the background color before, like we did the other section, and we'll just choose black. So now the whole section behind it is black. Alright, so now if we go back into edit gallery, we've got single, multiple, oops, clicked on the wrong thing, images, and options, what we can do with them. So what we're going to do is just go on images. Alright, so we're back to our gallery. This is what we've got in our media library. So I'm going to add some more photos. So let's go into my website. Once again, if we grab the nice light ones, let's pick a couple of photos. I can't remember if I'd put that one in. We'll just put all these landscapey ones in. Yep, that'll do. Okay, so these will upload to the media gallery. So depending on how fast your internet is, it'll keep it going for a couple of minutes or less. Okay, so our new photos have uploaded, and so I've actually got a couple of overlaps, 1, 2, 3, so it's not picked up those. So we're just going to add them into a new gallery. So create new gallery down the bottom. And here you can drag and drop in different orders. You can reverse the order. We can move these around so it's not just all dense ones together. Let's put a few different in. Stick one over there. And that'll do. Alright, so insert gallery. And there we are. Instant gallery. Okay, so we can go through a few of the options here. So we can order it by default or random. So if you want to choose the way the photos come up, you can. Otherwise you can pick random, so it'll reorder them every time. Lazy load leave on. Basically it means that any photos that aren't on the screen, so if we had say 30 photos in this and it went past the screen, anything past the screen doesn't get loaded when you first go into the page, which makes the page load quicker and helps your Google SEO and everything like that. It's a much better experience. And then once you start scrolling down to the page, if the person scrolls down, then the lazy load will start loading the other pictures. So it's great. That's in WordPress now. It never used to be. So leave it on. Okay. Layout. We have grid. We have justify. Okay. And we have masonry. Okay. So you can play around and see what versions you like. So I'm going to leave this one on. I'll leave it on masonry. Let's do that. You can change the amount of columns you've got. So 3 columns, 2 columns, you know, crazy, put them at 5 columns. So it's very flexible. Okay, you can put spacing between the edges, you can make it bigger, smaller, and like that. Okay, so let's leave it at masonry, let's leave it at 4, and let's hit update. Let's have a preview. And voila, instant gallery. So scroll down, it's all there. So this will work with a lightbox as well. So if you click on one, it'll open up in a full screen lightbox. You can click through them. It's nice and quick. I've optimized my photos, but it's also a very light gallery plugin, so it goes really well. And again, having a decent website hosting behind you helps this as well. Okay, so that's another reason why I've gone Cloudways as opposed to some of the other ones. Okay, some options up the top. You've got extra close. You've got full screen. I think you can only do that on a computer, but I'm not sure. I'd have to double check. Okay, exit full screen, and you can zoom. So, pan around with your mouse. You can do it with your finger on your tablet and things like that. Go down there. And by default, it's set up. You can share it on Facebook, Twitter, pin it, and download image. Okay, so you can turn a lot of that stuff off, but I'm not going to go into those details today. So at the moment, we've got, sorry, go back into it. I've got the title, so I've just called them generic-y titles. So you can change them to something else if you want, or I think you can actually turn the titles off. I think you can. I'm not sure where it is, but have a play around. It's just, a lot of this stuff is just trying different options. Once you get the basics done, it's just playing around to what you want. So if you want to make it this full screen, so I was showing you before that this was, sorry, wrong one. So the layout is boxed. If you choose full width, that will then go full width of the page. I'll do a preview. And so you might like that, or you might think that's a bit overpowering. Again, it's up to you. You can come here, you can change it to boxed. I click on it, yep. You can change gaps, height, things like that. But I'm going to leave mine at boxed at the moment. And we'll refresh that. Yep, back to that. Alrighty, so now let's jump back to the dashboard. and have a look here now. So we're going to get rid of these two sample pages. Okay, so sample page and privacy policy. We're just going to get rid of them. So now we've only got the ones that we've created. So we've got our home page, our gallery all photos page, and our template page. All right, so let's just do one more gallery page. So we're going to duplicate the template. We'll go edit, and we'll call this one gallery photos dance. Okay, publish, and edit. Okay, so we're going to go grab another gallery. So jump into the gallery. We're going to grab some photos. Oops, wrong bit. Okay, so we're just going to grab dance, and we might grab the other portrait ones as well, just to get a few photos in there. Okay, so we'll just leave it at that. I'll move that one around between there. Okay, insert gallery, and we might go, looks a bit funny like that, because you've got a lot of white space. We might go down to 3 columns, and that looks better. We're going to leave it on grid, so we'll go justified. Don't like justified with that one. We'll go back to grid. Okay, so update. Let's preview that one. And see, I haven't changed the back. Okay, so we'll go back into here. And so if you do a lot of galleries, what you can do is actually save, this as a template as well. So you can have a blank gallery and set it up with your backdrop being, if I click on the right button. Sorry, wrong one. Go back into style and actually change your backdrop to black. So you can save all that, create a template like that, and then duplicate from there. So if you want to do, you can have a gallery template, you could have a page template. It's all about saving you time. So if you need to go back and then add things to your website and go, oh, I've got a new gallery coming up, it's just, instead of redoing the settings or going, oh, I've missed a setting, which setting was that? You can set most of them up from here. Okay. So click update again. Let's have another squeeze. And that looks better. And again, got our light box. Nice and quick. And let's close that. Okay, so now back to dashboard. Okay, so we have our home page. We have our galleries dance and our galleries all photos. So we have 3 pages plus a template which we're not putting publicly anywhere. Okay, so what we need now is, if we go to our home page, we've got our slider, we've got our header, and we've got our footer, but we don't have anything else. Okay, so what we need up here is a menu. Okay, so what we need to go is into appearance, and we go to menus. Okay, and by default, it'll just add pages that are there. So we've got our home page, our gallery all photos, and our gallery dance. So we're going to get rid of the template one, remove. Okay, and these ones you can actually bring in. So if that wants to be a sub menu of that one, you can make it that, but we're just going to do that for now. Okay, we're going to create menu. I hit save. Okay, so now if we go up here and refresh, we now have a menu. It's a home. Click on that, goes to gallery all photos. Click on that one, goes to galleries photo dance. And we can go home from here, or if you hit on the logo, it also takes you home. Don't like the green, and the spacing here looks a bit funny, so we need to go back into our header, which we created first, and we need to make some adjustments. So we need to go back into one of the pages. Let's just go back into our home page. And we'll go into Theme Builder. Okay, so we've got 3 Theme Builder parts: the header, the footer, and the single page. Okay, so we're going to go into the header and we'll edit that. So this will bring you back into an Elementor page again. Okay, and it's basically the same kind of thing. It's all blocks and you can change whatever you want. Okay, so let's do the menu stuff first. Okay, so you can change the alignment. So at the moment it's aligned to the right. We'll stick it in the middle. So it's the middle of this bit. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Now, by the way, if you need to go back, go down into your history and it lists everything you've done. So let's go back a step. And done. So let's go back in. Alright, so back into menu. So you can change animations, things like that, what they do. This is the mobile drop down section, so it'll change what happens when you're on a tablet or a phone, a certain pixel screen, and it will basically turn it into a hamburger menu. And you can put it on the right side, left side. If you want to test what it looks like on a different screen, at the moment this is defaulting to a computer screen. So responsive mode. If you hit tablet, that's what it'll look like on a tablet. See how it's changed to a hamburger menu? And if we go down to phone, to click on it properly, it'll squish it down further. So it's a good idea to have a look. We're not going to go through it today because it's just a quick setup for gallery. But before you actually publish your site or share it, go through responsive modes. Elementor is very responsive, which means it'll respond to whatever size screen. Large computer screen, small computer screen, tablet screen, phone screen. It'll just move everything around so it looks good. But occasionally things just look a little bit not the way you want it. So if you actually go in and have a look, and then you can change it to what you want. So, alright, so we're going to go into... So I don't like the green. It doesn't match my red and black. So we're going to go into Style. And we'll go to Text Color. So we'll go Text Color. What are we going to do? We'll make it red as well. Okay, so let's go red. And... Alright, so that's okay. Now, so our typography we've got up here is normal, hover, and active. So normal is as is. Hover is when you move your mouse or your finger over it. And so now it's changing it to green. So you can change the text color and the pointer color. Okay, so I'm going to change them both to different color, but not red, but not black. Let's make them like a purple. Let's see what that looks like. It's not too bad. Let's do it that. Let's make it the same. You can copy the actual values and make them exactly the same, but we're just doing it quickly. So now if you move your mouse over it, it'll change to that. So this one here, you can actually go in as well. You can change the alignment. I think that's looking pretty good. So we won't play too much with it. So let's just update. Let's just preview it again. Refresh. And now that's looking a bit better. Okay, so you've actually got your logo and things. So we can go into all photos. And back to home. So that's about it. So we'll just exit back to the dashboard, have a quick look. So with basically just WordPress, a hosting platform, and a purchase of Elementor Pro, one license is about $50 US. It does go on sale occasionally. At the moment it is 10th of September. Black Friday will be coming up soon, next month. There's usually some specials there, so have a look out. If you want to do things like we've done today, it's very easy in Elementor Pro. You can get free gallery plugins, but they don't have a lot of the fancier options. You don't get a big light box opening up. You might not get, it's just a standard grid. You don't get justified. You don't get masonry and things like that. Plus the Elementor one is they built it from the ground up, so it's very, very quick. So I'd recommend, especially if you're going to do this as a business, spend your $50 US or whatever it is in special. Get yourself a license, and as you said today, it's very quick. You can very quickly put up, go to a photo shoot, go and edit your photos, suddenly go boom, and they're up all online, and they look pretty good. I will in future go through a few more of these. I actually have created my website to be an e-commerce gallery site. Now, there's a couple of different ways to do it. I've actually done it with Elementor Pro, but I've actually got another paid plugin called NextGen Pro. It makes it really easy to do the e-commerce stuff, because basically what I wanted it for was I was doing some photos from a dance school, so I had hundreds of kids, and what I wanted to do was just put them all online, get a username, password to the parents. They could log in, and they could go click, 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 click. These are the photos I want, and then check out. And so there's only a couple of different ways in WordPress to do that kind of easily, and NextGen Pro is the easiest one for me. But that's for another video. Okay, we're going to add one more plugin. There's one thing I didn't realize that the gallery didn't do, is stop people right-clicking on it and downloading your images. So we're just going to add a quick plugin. So we'll go to Plugins, Add New, and it's a free plugin called WP Content Copy Protection and No Right Click. So we'll go install now. And activate. Okay, so now if we go into our website, I'll go visit it. If you right click on it, it doesn't bring up a menu to do it. So people can still screen capture and things like that. You can't get away completely, but at least in the galleries, any pictures you've got, you can't right click anymore. Okay, so that's just a little bit of extra. So I hope you enjoyed this one. It's really quite a good way to get up and running quickly and get quite a nice portfolio. So, you can add extra pages, whatever you want. You can do it, don't have to do sliders on the front. You can just do a static image. It's very customizable, WordPress. That's the thing, is you can grab, a lot of WordPress users use an existing theme that they've purchased or got free. Some are good, some aren't. Some of it's a lot of fiddling around. Where you see now in Elementor 3, we've got the theme builder. It's very easy to go back in and just actually create something really simple and really good looking. I think it's just, and you're focusing more on the photos. You're not focusing on all these funky design elements of the page. You're just basically going, oh wow, look at my photos. Don't they look good? So, all right, well, I think we'll leave it there. Enjoy. I hope you enjoyed this video. So I've got affiliate links down below for Cloudways and Elementor Pro. Okay, so if you click on those and sign up to them, then I actually get a little bit of money back, which helps the channel, and I can keep making more videos for this. So yeah, I highly recommend these two products. That's what my website's built on, and I think they're pretty great. All right, so I'll talk to you next time. Bye. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, please subscribe and hit the like button. For more of my videos, check out the videos on the right.